All right, so get ready, because today we're diving into the world of tarot,
Oh, cool.
but with a bit of a twist.
Okay.
You sent us this transcript of a session, and it's with Teru Nakashima.
Right, yeah, Nakashima.
Yeah, and in Japan, he's like huge for all his work on self-esteem. And so we're going to unpack how he actually uses tarot to work with a client. And this client is battling, well, two things, really low confidence and a deadline that's coming up pretty fast.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Everyone does.
So what's so interesting to me right off the bat is that the whole session, it's in Japanese. And you can just tell, like, right away that Nakashima, he isn't focused on, like predicting the future or anything.
It's not about fortune telling, no.
No, not at all.
It seems like it's more about, like, using the cards to kind of guide the client towards action, help them build their self-belief.
It's like he's using the cards almost as a way to have this conversation with the client's subconscious.
Yeah.
Bringing all these hidden thoughts and feelings just up to the surface.
Totally. And you know what? The client's situation is something I think a lot of us can relate to.
Oh, for sure.
They've been procrastinating on this task. The deadline is like right around the corner.
Ugh.
And their self-doubt is just spiraling.
Like a downward spiral. And they even say to Nakashima, like, I feel paralyzed, like the pressure is just too much.
Yeah.
But before they even get to the cards, Nakashima has them do like breathing exercises.
Interesting.
What do you think about that?
I think it's smart.
Yeah.
I mean, he clearly understands the connection between, how we feel, like our emotional state, and our ability to actually think clearly, right?
Yeah.
That feeling of, I can't do this, it's often rooted in anxiety.
Right.
Not a lack of capability.
Yeah. So he's really trying to create like a sense of calm before they even like touch the cards.
Yeah, get them grounded.
Smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first card he pulls is strength.
Yeah.
But it's reversed.
Ooh, interesting. So what does that tell us? What does he say?
Classic indicator of like, that inner strength is blocked. The clients, their usual drive, their determination, it's all being kind of overshadowed by this urge to just like...
To just avoid it.
Yeah, withdraw, avoid the whole thing.
Yeah.
And this is where I think Nakashima he uses this brilliant analogy of a tree.
Oh.
So he describes the client's self-esteem as the roots of this tree, which, they're a little shaky right now,
right? But
they're still anchored.
Still there.
What I love about that is that it's both accurate and reassuring at the same time.
Totally. He's not sugarcoating it, right?
No.
I mean, the client, is struggling, but he's emphasizing that even when our self-esteem takes a hit, there's still that core strength that you can tap back into.
It's still there. So the roots are there. You just need a little TLC.
A little love.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's next?
Okay, so next card is the Lovers.
Okay.
Which, usually that has pretty positive connotations.
Yeah, sure.
Choice, partnership, connection.
Connection, right?
So how does that work with this client's situation?
Well, what's interesting is Nakashima, he kind of picks up on this tendency.
Okay.
In the client to try and do everything solo.
Oh, yeah.
Like they have to handle this all alone.
Right.
And so the Lovers appearing here is a direct challenge to that mindset.
Interesting.
It's like the cards are saying, hey, look around, you have support.
You don't have to do it all yourself.
Yeah, and it ties into that thing we all think, that asking for help is a sign of weakness.
Oh.
When actually, it can be incredibly empowering.
Yes, and the Lovers, it also brings in like that element of choice.
Right.
Right. And Nakashima emphasizes how each decision, even something small, like choosing to work on the task for just 15 minutes, can shift the energy
a little bit
and break that procrastination cycle.
Momentum, yeah.
It's like saying, you are not a victim of your circumstances.
Yes.
You have agency.
Absolutely.
Which, I mean, I think we all need to hear that sometime.
Oh, for sure. Big time.
Right. It's a good reminder that we're not like passive bystanders in our own lives.
Yeah.
We have the power to make choices that move us forward.
You're in the driver's seat.
Exactly.
Got it.
All right. Now, the final card.
Okay, the final card, drum roll.
That he pulls.
Yeah.
is the star.
The star. Okay.
And if you've ever seen this card, it's visually stunning.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
This bright, shining star in the night sky.
Uh-huh.
And Nakashima, he really leans into that whole image.
I bet.
Yeah, he points out how, just the literal brightness of the star, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a representation of all this unseen potential.
Yes.
That exists for the client.
Even though they're struggling.
Even amidst, all their current struggles.
Yeah.
It's like he's saying, look, things might feel dark right now.
Yeah.
But there's a whole galaxy of possibility
of that
waiting for you.
Yes.
On the other side of this deadline.
Beautiful.
And he connects this so beautifully back to the client's situation.
Okay, how so?
He's suggesting that by completing this task, the client, they won't just experience, relief.
It's more than just relief.
It's a renewed sense of self-belief.
Right.
Remember that tree?
Yeah.
It's like the leaves are starting to unfurl and flourish again.
I love that imagery.
Yeah.
It's so vivid.
It really is. He's painting this picture of like this positive transformation.
Yeah.
And it's possible. It's not just about checking a box.
Right.
It's about restoring a sense of confidence and agency.
You got this.
Exactly. And then, he encourages the client to actually visualize their own star.
Oh, wow.
To imagine like that feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah.
And inner peace.
That's powerful.
That's waiting for them.
Yeah, what a great way to shift the focus away from fear.
Yes.
And towards a more positive outlook.
Exactly. It's interesting though, he doesn't just leave it at that with that hopeful image,
Mm-hmm.
He actually gives the client some really practical advice.
Okay,
on how to get there.
Yeah.
Well, he suggests breaking the task down.
Okay, yeah.
Into smaller steps.
Smaller steps, yeah.
To overcome that feeling of being overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm. Classic advice. But it really works.
Right.
It's so effective.
It's so effective.
Because it shifts your focus.
Yeah.
From this huge, daunting project.
Yeah.
To something manageable.
Yes, totally. It's like instead of staring up at this massive mountain, you're just focusing on taking that first step on the trail.
Exactly, yeah. And he also talks about support.
Oh, yeah.
And not just practical help, but also emotional support from people who believe in them.
Which goes back to that lover's card.
Right.
And that whole idea that we don't have to do this alone.
We're not alone.
It's like he's giving the client permission to lean on their network a little bit.
It's more than permission, I think.
Yeah.
It's encouragement.
Oh, okay.
It's like he's saying, hey, seeking support is a sign of strength, not weakness.
Ooh, I like that.
And it's also a reminder that we all have blind spots.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we need that outside perspective to see things clearly.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, there's the whole piece about, cultivating hope.
Yeah.
Which can feel a little abstract.
It can.
Yeah, a little bit.
But he brings it back to the tree.
Yes, he does.
Which I love.
He ties it back beautifully. Yeah, he reminds the client, even when the leaves are all withered, the roots are still there,
Yeah.
Gathering strength.
They're still there.
And that consistent effort,
yes.
even in small doses, it'll nourish those roots.
It'll nourish those roots.
And lead to new growth.
It's such a powerful metaphor.
It is.
For the resilience of the human spirit.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just about getting through this one deadline. It's about building that foundation of self-belief that can carry you through anything.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I find so compelling about Nakashima's approach?
What's that?
He never dictates.
Oh, interesting.
He guides.
Yeah.
He uses the cards as this framework for self-discovery, not as this set of rigid rules.
It's here are some tools and insights.
Yes.
Now you create your own path forward.
Exactly.
I love that.
And it's clear from the client's responses in the transcript that they're feeling empowered by this whole process.
Yeah.
They're starting to see themselves as capable of overcoming this challenge.
Yeah.
And maybe even growing from it.
I love that.
Right.
This session really highlights what tarot can be.
Yes.
When it's used in this way.
Yes.
It's not about, fortune telling. It's about self-reflection.
Yeah.
Personal growth.
And I think it speaks to that deeper human need for meaning and guidance.
We all need a little guidance sometimes.
Right. We all face challenges
in
life, and sometimes we need a little help navigating those
Those rough waters.
Those rough waters.
The choppy seas of life.
And what's so fascinating is that the cards themselves, they don't actually, like, provide the answers.
Right.
No.
No, they're prompts.
They're prompts.
To help you go inward.
Yes.
To trigger introspection and insight.
It's like they're holding up a mirror.
Yeah, I love that.
Reflecting back, like, what's already inside of us, but maybe, like, hidden beneath the surface.
Absolutely, and that's where the reader comes in.
Yes.
You know?
This is key.
Someone like Nakashima, they can interpret those cards within the context of what the client's going through.
Yes.
You know, offering insights and guidance.
That go deeper.
That go beyond just the, like, traditional meanings of the cards.
Yes. Which is why it's so important to find a reader who, like, really resonates with you.
Yeah.
Someone who can hold space for your vulnerability and guide you with, like, compassion and wisdom.
Absolutely. It's not just about the cards.
It's not.
It's about the connection.
Yes.
And the trust.
Yes.
Between the reader and the seeker.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about this specific reading, but, like, what do you think this tells us about tarot in general? Like, is this something everyone should try?
You know, I wouldn't say it's for everyone.
Okay.
But I do think anyone who's curious about exploring their inner world, understanding their patterns, gaining a new perspective on their challenges, could benefit from it.
And it's not about, like, giving away your power to the cards, right?
No, no.
You're still in control.
You're the one in control
of your choices and your actions.
Totally. It's a tool for self-discovery.
Yes.
Not a crystal ball.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
The cards can offer, you know, insights and guidance. But ultimately,
like, you decide.
You decide what to do with that.
So it's more about sparking that internal dialogue, that conversation with your intuition.
Exactly.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up this whole deep dive,
okay,
I want to leave you with a question.
All right, hit me.
That's been, like, swirling in my mind ever since I read this transcript.
I love a good question.
You know how we always hear that phrase, like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger? But what if, instead of seeing obstacles as, like, these threats, we viewed them as, like, opportunities to strengthen our roots?
I like that.
You know? Like those trees that Nakashima was talking about.
That's a really interesting way to look at it.
Right.
It shifts the focus, you know?
Yeah.
From fear and avoidance to growth.
Yes.
And resilience.
And it aligns perfectly with Nakashima's approach.
It does.
Of using challenges as these catalysts for self-discovery.
And personal development.
Yeah. It's like saying, okay, this is tough. But it's also a chance for me to, like, dig deeper.
Yeah, learn something.
Learn something new about myself and come out the other side stronger.
I love it. Embrace it all.
Yes.
The good and the bad.
The good, the bad.
Knowing that even the difficult stuff, it can help us grow.
It can help us evolve.
Yes.
And that brings us back to you, the listener.
Oh, yeah.
Think about, like, a challenge that you're facing right now. What if, instead of, you know, letting it just drain all your energy and feed your doubts, right?
Yeah.
What if you saw it as this opportunity?
Okay. To strengthen your own inner roots.
Like we were talking about with the tree.
Exactly. Like those trees.
Yeah. It's a powerful way to shift your perspective.
It is.
It's not about, you know, pretending things are fine.
No.
Or denying that it's hard.
No. It's about acknowledging that there's potential for growth, even within, like, the struggle.
Yeah, it reminds me of that Rumi quote.
Oh, yeah.
The wound is the place where the light enters you.
Oh, wow. I like that.
You know, it's sometimes through those really tough experiences that we discover our greatest strength.
Yes.
And resilience.
And going back to Nakashima's approach, I think what's so beautiful about it is that it's infused with this, like, deep sense of compassion.
It really is.
You know, he's not, like, judging the client for their struggles. He's meeting them where they are.
Right, where they are.
Offering tools for healing and growth.
And that's something we could all use a little more of, right?
Yes.
Self-compassion. Especially when we're feeling, like, stuck or overwhelmed. It's so easy to be hard on ourselves.
Oh, it's the easiest thing in the world.
You know? And focus on our flaws.
Yeah, our shortcomings.
Our shortcomings, like all the things we think we're not doing right.
Exactly. But what if we treated ourselves with the same kindness that we would offer to a friend, you know?
Yes.
Who was going through something tough?
I think that's a really great takeaway from this whole deep dive.
It's a good one.
You know? It's not just about the cards. It's about cultivating this mindset of self-awareness, resilience,
and compassion.
Yes.
For yourself and for others.
And remembering that we all have this capacity to grow and evolve.
Yeah, even when our leaves are wilting, right?
Yes, exactly.
There's always that potential for new growth, a new beginning.
A new beginning. So the next time you're feeling, this self-doubt creep in, remember the tree.
The tree.
Remember that you have strong roots.
Those roots.
Even if you can't see them.
They're there.
Right now, they're there.
Deep down.
And remember that you have the power to choose.
You do.
How you respond to those challenges.
It's all about choice.
It is.
You have the power.
It's about tapping into that inner strength, seeking support when you need it.
It's okay to ask for help.
And trusting that you have everything you need.
You do.
To navigate the journey.
The journey of life.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
It's fun.
Into the world of tarot and self-discovery.
I love tarot.
And to our listener, remember, you have the strength within you.
You do.
Trust the journey.
Trust it.
Embrace those challenges.
Embrace them.
And never stop believing in your ability to blossom.
Never stop.
Until next time.
See you later.
Keep exploring.